So you just have to have the skills. The skills is the most important thing. Learn online business, learn internet marketing, your network and your skills. If a guy has a network and skills and $10,000 in the bank, okay. But if you have no network and no skills and $10,000 in the bank, don't come out here. You know.
Yeah,
Fair point.
I add on to that. I'd say the main thing is guys are scared to fail, and that's what's holding them back. They're scared because the thing is like you said, Kevin, right? You can go home, like you if you fail, like say if you tried this business and you make some connections and stuff, and you fail, because the thing is we all need to fail. Like all of us have had adventures and we've had opportunities and we've done things and then we always fail, right? At the end, like we had to go through that process and then we figure out a business that works, and then that's what like keeps us going, right? But what's the worst case scenario? This is what I always tell people. What's the worst case scenario? You go back home, you live with your parents. Okay, so what? Just live with your parents for 6 months. Learn the skills, like what Elon was saying. Learn the skills, because you need to know skills that are going to be set you up for the future. I have a law degree, but I haven't used it for one day. And I learned skills from my friend when I was living in Croatia, who knew Facebook ads. I was learning that from him. And even though at the time, all I did was take that risk and leap of faith of like, okay, we're going to go live in this place together and figure a business out. I took that leap of faith, and that's what led to all the. I didn't end up doing Facebook ads, obviously, and I'm not doing things like he's doing. But the thing is, I took that risk of doing that, and then that's what eventually led to the success, right? Because you need to go through the failures, and most people are scared to fail because they think, oh, what's going to happen? What people are going to think? What my family's going to think? What my friends are going to think? Because the thing is, like, after my degree, right, I went straight to Toronto and I started working with a dating coach, you know, and he wasn't paying me. I was just living on his couch. But that was I look back, I'm like, that was invaluable to me, because I saw how a millionaire thinks, a young millionaire. I saw how he moves. I saw all these things. I was living with him. I saw how he talks to women. I saw all this stuff, and then I learned by proxy. And it's only now that I look back, I'm like, oh yeah, I realized that, because, you know, but you don't realize that at the time. You just think, oh, I failed. And all my friends were like still continuing with their like university degrees. They were still like were studying more, because in the UK, after you've done 2-3 years of law study, you need to do like 2 more to become a lawyer, which is really weird. But I paid, like, I'm in debt right now still from that year. I can pay it off, but I'm being lazy with it. But yeah, it's just like those things. It's like you need to, guys are too scared to fail because they think, what are the repercussions? What are people going to think? But you need to get over that mindset. And even if that means you just don't tell them, you just do it on your own. You just go and figure it out. Like, I made a new Instagram account and everything. I started it all over again because I had a lot of people who were watching me who were like not good for me. You know, they were always trying to bring me down. And you had to be. It will come back down to mindset, right? You need to have that mindset of knowing, okay, this person does not have the best interest for me. This person just wants to take. And then the key, I think, for guys is they need to surround themselves with guys who want to give, with guys who have abundance and they want to share. And finding those people is hard, I know, but you have to try and you have to go to Bali and you have to go to all these places and find these people. And then you also have to be willing to fail. Like, that's the main thing. And I think the money thing, like you said, like 5K is in the bank, and then you just start an online business and or learning the skills, and you have 5K, and you can, because the thing is as well, like, you've got to think about in the UK, for example, if you're living with family, you've got distractions, you've got friends, you want to go to parties, all this stuff. If you go to Bali and you start fresh, you can live with 200 rent, you can have a nice place, do all this stuff, and then you can also just sit there and focus on your business for 8 hours a day, you know, and then focus on your craft, whatever that is, whether you're learning videography, you're learning photography, you're learning any skill for the future. Like, there's so many things you could be learning. Like, I just tell guys they need to learn, and they need to learn how to learn, because most people don't know how to learn.
There's one thing that one thing each of you guys said. I'll address them separately, and I thought was very invaluable and very good. So I'll first start off with what you said, Air, of like people being afraid to fail.
Yeah.
And, you know, I totally agree with that, because, like, look, this happened to me this past year where, you know, I was living in Asia for 2 years, came back living in Vegas, you know, had a great time and stuff there. We basically had a failed project there. All the Coach White Pill drama stuff happened.
Yeah.
And then at that point from there, you know, I had to basically, I was like homeless. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I guess it was like basically a failed startup, right? Yeah. So my income went to zero. It wasn't even that high in the first place because we invested so much money into that project and stuff, and just all went kaput because all the drama went down. And then, you know, I ended up living back with my dad for, I don't know, 4 months or so.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, the worst thing that happens that happened was people made fun of me for it. People who didn't like me in the first place. They would have made fun of me for something else anyway, like my hairline or something, right?
Yeah, because they're insecure. So, they're all insecure. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. But really, that's the only sort of consequence there. The only thing that's holding you back is that ego. And I'm going to tie it into what Elon was talking about before of developing the skills. For me personally, because I had the skills already of one, I had a big asset, which was my YouTube channel. I had somewhat of a following. I had already built up a lot of skills in terms of like fitness, communication, that type of stuff to offer something in terms of coaching. I already had a background in sales, so I already knew how to like get people on the phone and take them through that whole process, get them to sign up and stuff. So I had the skills and stuff to build myself back up. So it's sort of like, okay, you have those skills. So it's a combination of two things, you know. Ideally, you come out here or anywhere else, you have enough where like, okay, if you do fail, you can still continue to be here. You don't have to like go back home to your family or whatever and have them support you until you get back on your feet again, because that can be a pretty embarrassing thing, and that's just not ideal. But at the same time, let's say that does happen, as long as you've sort of developed the skills to get yourself back out of that. I think that's really important. So I think the mix between the prescriptions both of you guys gave, I think, is like the perfect answer.